let's do some of that. Who doesn't have any idea much about their market? Who would like to be a guinea pig? Can you give her a handheld mic, please? Oh, yeah, that's cool. So I kind of know Shirley's market. We talked quite a lot. She got the first dry run of all this. So the other day when I had all the maps done, she called me about an offer, and we walked through the offer. So let's go over, I guess, about a lot of stuff because I've researched so many damn markets now. Hey, Shirley. So tell us about your product, Shirley.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shirley, and I created a product called Posture Keeper, and it's designed to help people who sit on chairs for long periods of time to stay upright.
So it's good for back pain and posture, right?
Yes.
Primarily?
Yes.
It's pretty cool. Did you have one here?
I do. I have one right
You have
over
to show it to them. A minute. I use SEMrush. So there are a number of tools you can get. We have a lot of software tools. We spend a lot of money on them. You don't have to have all these. LSI Graph is put out by a guy named Daniel Tan. He's a great guy. But if you enter back pain here, it's going to pull up the primary middle back pain symptoms, sciatic back pain, women lower back pain causes, lower back pain symptoms, pinched nerve lower back, middle back pain, exercises for lower back. So these are going to give you a lot of the terms that you would use in your offer. You could also go to posture, types of body posture, what is good posture, how to fix bad posture. These are things that are fairly obvious. As you get into Word Tracker, you're gonna get a lot longer list. Lower back pain. A lot of these are pretty common. So they're going to sort you by the most commonly asked questions. One of the things to look at with Word Tracker that's really cool is this thing called the KEI index. We use it for blogging a lot. The KEI index shows you, for blogging, it shows you the terms that you could most easily rank for because there's a low amount of competition. But for offer creation, it does something different. It shows you stretching for lower back pain is searched 22,200 times a day. There's one post on the internet that's the exact title of. One. So if you blog, you'd really move up. But more importantly to me, in writing an offer, it tells me that's an unanswered question, right? Unanswered questions when you're writing copy are a really big deal. Did you know there are 7 stretches for back pain you have 7 stretches that can release 70% of your back pain? You might not think about that with your product because you're thinking, well, I'm selling a thing for posture that sits in a chair, but it's a great lead magnet, right? Before you get into selling the widget. Because when you're selling the widget, if you guys know Dean Jackson, he's fantastic. Dean Jackson it's more cheese, less whiskers, I think, .com. But he has this theory called the cheese and whiskers theory. It's fantastic. He says that a cat will chew through a concrete wall 2 feet thick to get to a piece of cheese, but will run away with everything it's got at the flick of a whisker from a cat. A mouse will chew through a wall. Is he really? Dean's probably one of the smartest cats I've ever met. He's ridiculously smart. But this KEI is going to give you some terms. Had you thought about stretching? About anything with stretching with your product?
No.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't, right? Yeah. So this is data that you get to pull up data that you might not think about, right? What causes lower back pain? What else is weird in here? I always look for the weird stuff. Mid-left back pain. Would you think people would search it that way? 6,000 people searching for mid-left back pain. Almost nobody blogging or talking about that. Essential oils for back pain. Who thought about that? This stretches for upper back pain. This stretches thing's a big deal. I see a stretching for back pain product coming up here. So can you see that, Nate, how that would help you? So if you're going to write an offer for back pain right now, this would be good information for you. Because most people just look at that stuff that's the biggest terms, which are usually what? The obvious answers, right? So this helps you to find the not so obvious answers and cut through the muck a little bit. Okay, let's see what they say over here. This is SEMrush. So they're going to show you keywords, questions, phrase match, related keywords. This is related. These are the things that aren't direct on. I'll show you something else that's pretty cool too. Back problems, back pain, nothing really big there. Sore back, human back pain symptoms. I have back pain, signs of lower back pain. I would imagine it would be that your lower back would hurt. Wonder what makes those pecan waffles taste so much like pecans. There's a tool here that's really cool. Do you know your biggest competitor, Shirley?
The biggest competitor is a product that it's called Get Better Back. It's a similar product that's raised $1.2 million on Kickstarter and doing really well on Amazon. So my product's going to be launched on Kickstarter, so that's why I'm focused on that market or platform.
So I know Jesse Canone. Jesse's probably one of the biggest content creators and guys in this space, a good guy. But you can go to SEMrush and enter a URL of your competitor, and it'll tell you domain analytics overview. So here's the backlinks, top anchors, top referring domains, indexed pages, backlinks. It'll show you, I got to figure it out in here where it's at, but it'll show you his most popular articles, his most popular phrases, the keywords around that. So if you want to figure out, without guessing, how people are searching, how people are talking, what the conversation is already going on their head, that totally works. Another thing that I use is back pain so bad. You're going to see this in my my maps. It's called the so bad rule. I've been doing this for a long time. If you want a good story, need help, I was having back pain so bad that, and you can't even effing walk, fibromyalgia, so bad that I could hardly walk. Then I learned about how to get rid of it. Couldn't get in and out of my car, yada, yada, yada. What'll happen when you go through these, you'll find stories in these forums that you couldn't possibly create. I found a story once. We used to sell, don't judge me, we used to sell a vaginal odor product. And there was a story about a lady who was 5'11" and was a hairdresser. And my headline read, how a hairdresser from Minnesota or whatever, who stood nose to crotch with her customers all day long, right? It was a super winning product. Crushed, the copy crushed. Most of you guys wouldn't run that because it'd be a little too shocking for you. But I don't care, I'll be shocking. So out of this, I think the first thing that you saw there, the first thing I would see out of your market, Shirley, is that you've got, the stretch thing's a big deal, right? So you're selling a device that's corrective in nature, but people are going to want to come to you some way other than saying, hey, I have something to sell you. You're going to get initial traction off of Kickstarter, but you're going to want to start blogging. You're going to want to start creating content about posture and about back pain, and you're going to want lead magnets. And in selling a physical product like yours, I know has considerable expense to make. You can't really do a tripwire. You can't do a cheap version of it. It's kind of hard to do. So you're going to want to attract back pain sufferers with something. What we found is it's difficult to find content and information about, you could do an ebook on 17 back pain stretches that give you temporary relief from back pain. Hey, that's temporary relief. You want to really correct the problem, boom, there's what you do, right? So that's kind of how I would start. You got to know who your customer is. It's going to be difficult because you have a very broad market. But what you're going to find probably, this was a big thing that Kennedy taught me that was interesting. In most markets, when you get a certain amount of buyers, you don't have them yet, but when you get them, run them through run them through Lyris data, and you're going to find what their professions are. And I know for a fact truck drivers have huge back problems. There are other professions that have huge back and posture problems. Dentists have bad back, do they? So you're probably going to find different industries where you can go to industry publications and work with them very narrowly, right? Kennedy found that in the Russian brides market, he talks about it as an example. There was a client that he had that was in the Russian brides market, and the biggest customer was an over-the-road truck driver that had been married twice before. That's the absolute best customer they found. So they just started piling all their advertising into Truck Trader magazine. Who would think of putting ads to find a Russian bride in Truck Trader magazine? You wouldn't unless you really knew that that was your target demographic. Yeah.
What's the website that he ran the data through to find out they were truck drivers?
That's Lyris. I think it's Lyris. I don't know how you spell it. It's Nielsen. It's Nielsen Research. It's an expensive version of Tower Data. There's also Ben Morris in Austin with Crystallytics. But he's wicked expensive. But he has really deep data. Pardon me? You could use Facebook Audience Insights. That's a starting point. Yeah. It's really good to use 2 or 3 different things if you can, and then you can kind of overlap them and see. Because even in Word Tracker data, sometimes there are anomalies. They're just miscalculations, and they can really throw you off. Because you'll go, ooh, I didn't know that this, and you just find that that's some anomaly in the data, and you've already slanted your whole marketing effort toward that, right? All right, cool. What else do you know about people with back pain?
So the people who we're focusing on are people who sit for hours, specifically, not just not people who get back pain from sports activities or gardening. Even though if you did gardening and you hurt yourself, once you start sitting down, your pain will get agitated.
More and more chronic, yeah.
Right.
It's a huge problem. It's a giant market to be in. The back pain market's a huge market. I think much more than posture, you're going to be able to get more people interested in pain. Right. You might really think about why do they want to get out of pain other than just being out of pain? Why? What are some reasons? What can't they do?
It's quality of life, right? They can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about those things. Kind of make a list of things they can't do.
Right.
What can't you do? Because of my back pain, I can't blank.
Can't play with the kids.
Right.
Can't.
Who wants to play with the kids anyway, though? Really?
Moms do.
Can't play with the dogs. Can't play golf is a huge thing for guys. Yeah, one of the number one things in the golf market, one of our guys that was in the golf market, Revolution Golf, one of the biggest products they ever released was pain-free golf for seniors. Because people that are older have pain when they play golf. Everybody would think that everybody wants to play golf better and score better, and they do, but the pain-free golf product was much, much bigger. The obvious answer is not always the obvious answer, and they dug that up through research, right? Through research. Anything else you can think of? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.